Hi, I'm Jessica, and I'm a Operations Shift Supervisor here at Spoonflower, and today I'm going to show you how to make an infinity scarf. I'm going to be using Spoonflower's modern jersey, but our organic cotton knit, our cotton spandex jersey, or even our polycrepe would be an excellent choice for this project. If you're not using Spoonflower fabric, any lightweight or knit fabric would be perfect. I love this project because it is so simple and so easy. I made a bunch of these scarves for my friends this past Christmas, and it was a huge hit. I also love this project because I love wearing layers, and it's a great way to add some fun and a little more character to your outfit. So let's go ahead and jump in. Here's what you'll need for this project: scissors, pins, about 2 yards of fabric, and a sewing machine. So to get started, you're going to need to take your 2 yards of fabric and fold it in half lengthwise. And then once it's folded in half, you're going to cut up along the folded edge of the fabric. You're only going to need one of the pieces of fabric, which you'll end up with two once you cut along the folded edge. And you can save the other piece for another project or possibly another scarf. Now that we have our fabric cut and we'll have our two pieces, you can set the one piece aside and you can lay out your piece that you'll be working with. What we're going to do next is we're going to fold this in half again lengthwise. And this next step will be pinning the fabric together. This is also a great time to check the width of your scarf, since this will be the final width of the project. You may find that this is a little wide for your taste, and this would be a great time to trim off any of the excess from the sides to get the width that you'd like. Now that we have our fabric pinned all along the edge, we are ready to start sewing. I'm going to go ahead and stitch with a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and I'm going to make sure that I have a zigzag stitch because I'm using a knit fabric. If I was using a woven fabric, I would just go ahead and do a normal straight stitch. And I'll do a back stitch before I start to make sure it's secure. When I'm sewing, I choose to leave my pins along my seam allowance and continue to sew through. Some people I know will remove the pins as they're going. There is a possibility that you could break or damage your needle by leaving your pins in, but if you move slowly enough and are paying attention, it's generally all right. But it's a personal preference whether you'd like to leave them in or take them out. Now that we've sewn the length of our fabric, what we're going to go ahead and do is reach through to the other end of our fabric. We essentially have a tube now, so I'm going to reach all the way through to get to the end, and then once I get to the end of our scarf, I'm going to go ahead and hold this in my hand and take it back through to the other edge. So I have both ends of the scarf here together, and I'm going to keep the right sides together, and I'm going to start pinning this top edge here. What I like to do is I like to start with my seams together and start pinning from there. So now that we pinned around the top edge of our scarf, we're ready to start sewing. So we're going to sew the entirety of the circle, but we're going to leave about 3 or 4 inches unsewn so that we're able to pull the right side of the scarf back to the outside. And I'm going to use the same seam allowance as I did before and the same zigzag stitch. Now that we've sewn the top edge of our scarf with the exception of the 3 or 4 inches that we left open, we're ready to grab our fabric from the inside and just grab a handful of it and start pulling it through the hole we made so that we have the right side of the fabric back on the outside. And now we're ready for the final step, to close our gap that we made to pull the fabric from the inside. Now, to finish off the scarf, we're going to sew along the top edge of the opening that we left initially. You're more than welcome to hand stitch this part for a more invisible, seamless look. I'm going to go ahead and machine stitch it just for time's sake. So now that we've stitched our opening closed, you now have your finished project. It's super easy and super fun.